Beautiful souls, if you are looking to shift into a higher state of consciousness, if you are looking to raise your vibrational frequency, then today's transmission is for you. There is often a misconception around being able to immediately shift into higher states of frequencies, though the truth looks more like encountering hardship first, overcoming challenges, and getting yourself out of a rut that you may have been in for too long. It is here that the energy of resilience propels one into a higher frequency, which means that if we want to shift into higher states, we must look at our capacity to recover and thrive despite adversity. It's episode 63, beautiful souls. Enjoy, and I'll see you in just a few seconds. Alright, so we're going to go into answering your question about changing your frequency. So, let's just settle in here. And the very first thing that we want you to know about shifting frequency is that it is palpable. When one makes the transition to another frequency, regardless whether that vibration is of a lower or a higher harmonic, your entire being will know, because it recognizes the shift in frequency. For those of you looking to shift to a higher harmonic, the very first step is to understand that as you make a transition, as you come from a slightly denser frequency and you transition to a lighter, a higher frequency, it takes time for the body to adjust. It takes time for the entire system to adapt, which means that during a transitional period, it is very easy to drop back down into the state of being that you were previously. Now, what this means is that maintenance is needed. So once you have disintegrated and allowed your current reality to crumble around you, yes, it often involves going down vibrationally in order for you to rise. The most common example would be when there is chaos arriving in someone's life. There are challenges, there may be health issues, something drastic takes place. In this drastic situation that has come about in your reality, it allows for the identification of self. It allows for what you once thought that you knew, structures of the ego, to collapse. And in the collapsing, you invite an open space, newfound consciousness, a new way of seeing. And it's often until these structures collapse that one can see a new truth. And it is in that very truth that allows for an individual to move, to transition into the next frequency. Because you no longer can stay in the state of where you were. And that shifting, despite the undesired challenge that came your way, the door that opens up for you, shines so brightly, the light of truth, the connection to your own heart, the alignment to your highest self, the knowing. It allows you to glide effortlessly into a higher vibration. Now, if none of that is unfolding in your reality, and your reality is stable, and you desire to rise, and you desire for more, for better, and you know that there is a higher frequency, a next stage in your evolution, it is from this point that you, with your own free will, can call in the desire to rise and to shift yourself into the next phase of your being. So what is it that you have to go through? We'll give you another example, dear ones. Looking at the depths of yourself that you would rather walk away from, become distracted with something else that takes you away from looking at the very thing that has been waiting and seeking your attention. You see, in the darkness, dear ones, the ability to transcend any parts of self into light is a raising of vibration. So all one has to do, if they desire for this, and even for those of you in a good feeling place, these exercises and practices bring more energy back into the body. And that is ultimately presence, aliveness of every cell of your being. So when you engage, even from a good feeling place, we recommend that you engage in these practices even if you are in a good feeling place, because that allows the momentum to continue, the transcending of oneself ultimately. And as you do this in small stages, when called upon, when your heart calls you, all you have to do is sit in your own stillness. And as you sit in your own stillness, there will be an ability to identify the sensitivities of your very being. And these sensitivities of your being, the more you allow them to grow, the more you allow them to deepen in their feeling, you'll notice a moving of energy all around you that is always with you. And that is why we say that no matter where you are in your life, always remember that Spirit is always with you. We are always with you, dear ones. So in the recognizing of your own chi, your vital life force, it is here that you can use your own vital energy not only to heal yourself, but your vital life force is the conductor of life itself, which means that you are one dot amongst the masses in the ocean. And as you can connect yourself to everything that there is and all that there ever will be, a raising in your vibration, an understanding of all, compassion for all, free from separation, unifying yourself. And as you allow the chi to move around you, and you start bringing this energy within you to all of the organs of your being, into all of the cellular activity, just being with your chi and just sitting with it, with your presence, with your consciousness. The longer you stay in it, the longer you are aware of it, the longer you can observe it and watch it move in its most magnificent, coalescent geometry, creating the very symbols of life. Just this exercise, dear ones, will allow you to raise your vibrational frequency. And your job is to maintain it, where many rise up, and in the rising, they are unable to maintain for long enough of a period of time, so they fall back. Like any cycles of a new habit, when one begins for just a few days, they forget, they stop, and they fall back. You see, as one transitions into a new frequency, into a higher frequency, the lightness, you already know that feels like home. So how do you maintain being at home? Well, you must keep up with the practices. You must keep up with your ability to feel in your own proprioception. You must be able to feel with all of your senses. You must be able to feel and be with the living in a new paradigm. When you can bring the entirety of you into the new paradigm and recognize what's new, what makes it light here. You can even write it down. When you are able to do that, then the contrast will be so stark that just 1 foot back into the lower frequency will frighten you, will remind you of why that didn't feel like home, and why you deserve better, and why you are striving in your own expansion to improve your way of life. And the direction is light, the direction is the speed of that vibration, which is the higher harmonics, the unconditional love, the surrounding of all that there is and all that there ever will be. It's purity, dear ones. And in that purity, you will find heaven on earth. As we mentioned, it's palpable, and no one ever wants to look back once they are in. And all you have to do is remind yourself that once you step foot in the new paradigm, that you must bring your entire being there, and to maintain it with your practices, and you maintain it with the precision of your knowing. Never forget that as you shift, dear ones. We thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Thank you.